Hey, I forgot, I had the radio on in there. Is that gonna be a problem? We got to turn around right up here. Hey, Levi here with Hammerfab. We got an IROC-Z, a 1985 IROC-Z that I picked up here recently. Got a really good deal on it. I've never had one of these cars. I've always kind of admired them. They've kind of got a bad rap for not being the best cars, and a lot of them get rotted out and stuff, but this one is super solid. Couldn't pass up the deal. So the deal was, the guy that I bought it from said that the car wasn't running right, thought he had a blown head gasket. So I took a chance on the car, brought it home. Turns out all it was a really bad vacuum leak. We plugged that back in, got it running better, changed the oil in it, and we've been driving it around a little bit. All right, so let's check out this car, look it over, and see just how good this car is before we tear into it. Come on. All right, so your first indicator when looking for a third-gen Camaro, if you want to look for a nice one, open the door and see if it drops. Did you notice that? The door does not drop at all. That means your hinges are good. It's not all rotted out up here. The bushings are good. So to me, that was a good sign right out of the bat that this is a solid car, and I didn't really have to look very much further, but I did anyways. So as you come inside, it's got a really nice interior. Everything's nice except for right here. It's got a cigarette burn, but we're working on a solution for that. So if I can get that fixed and a couple of other little issues inside, this is gonna be an almost perfect interior for as old as this car is. What is it, 40 some years old? So if you come over here, you know, these cars got a lot of plastic, kind of clunkiness stuff. This door thing's all warped and weird. This thing got cracked. So there's not a lot of this stuff that's readily available. There's some of it, like you can buy this, but you know, you'd be surprised, you'd be shocked how much this piece of plastic costs. It's like 200 bucks for a door topper, which is it's a lot for a piece of plastic. So I've been hunting for some better ones of those, trying to source some good deals on stuff. You know, this is just a little bit dirty, you know, it's just a little wiggly. I'm gonna run with it for now. I'm fine with how it is. It's not nasty, but you know, I'm gonna try not to get into doing a full interior on this car. But we are gonna do a few upgrades. One of the things that was already fixed on this car is the dash pad. The previous owner had already purchased a brand new dash pad, which is probably 500 bucks or so, maybe more. But this is a full dash pad. It's not just a cover. And so I was really excited to see that. Another thing was they did a new headliner in it. It's the original velour style headliner. It's not perfect, but it's new and it's nice and it doesn't smell like cigarette smoke. Another thing that the previous owner did was they replaced the carpet with brand new IROC-Z gray carpet. There again, you know, it's not perfect, but it's new and we're gonna run with it. The console in this car seems to be original. When you pop the glove box, it's got the original VIN number sticker on the inside, so I believe that that's correct and real. It's got the Delco Electronics tape player in here. A lot of you young kids don't even know what a tape player is. When I was growing up, we were still using cassette tapes, but I was of the generation where CDs came out and CDs were a big deal. Now they don't even have cars with CDs. So, not sure if I'm gonna keep that. I'll probably upgrade that to more modern stereo. I've got a couple of them in there that I could put in there real easy. But one of the other things we're gonna do is probably swap out this console for something a little bit more modern. So we're gonna do an unboxing here pretty soon, and I'll show you what I've got in store for that. All right, let's pop the hood and see what the engine looks like. So this is original 305 V8 with tune port fuel injection. From my understanding, this is the only available V8 that came in these cars. It wasn't until '87 that they came out with a 5.7 with the tune port. Now I'm not sure if any of these came with a manual or not. That might have been '87 also, but I'm no third gen expert. But this is a pretty clean car. I'm pretty sure all this blue under here is the original paint. I just did a quick pressure wash to get all the dust and everything off of it. You know, it's got hoses and wires and smog stuff going everywhere. We're gonna get rid of most of that stuff because we got a new power plant in store. You know, check out some of the details under the hood. You know, it's not perfectly clean and everything, but the way you can tell this is original is by, first of all, the original overspray. We've got some like wax pen writing here, which looks like it's from the factory. We've got the original stickers here, original smog routing sticker here, original insulation under the hood. You know, it's got some nicks and fading and stuff, but it doesn't look like it's ever been taken off. And to me, that's a good sign for getting a solid car. Nobody's messed with it. Now, if you'll notice, there's no holes in the hood, but the hood has these louvers. So the IROC-Z's had this really cool hood, but the only problem is they're not real functional louvers. So we're gonna remedy that. We've got a solution for that. There's some products out there that you can buy to turn these into functional louvers, but I just really don't like the look of them. So we're gonna do something kind of custom on this one that I think will keep the heritage of the IROC Camaro, but also be some good functional louvers. Now, one of the reasons you want functional louvers on these cars is because the front end of them is so huge and there's not a lot of room for air to get in through the radiator to cool the engine. So especially if we're gonna put a bigger engine in there, which we are, we wanna make sure that this doesn't just become like a big kite that catches air and one, lifts the car at high speed. We don't want that. But also we want as much air going through the radiator and exiting the hood or the engine bay as fast as possible so that we can keep that air, fresh air, going through the heat exchanger and the radiator. All right, so another thing we're gonna upgrade on this, Lord willing, is the suspension. So I'd like to do the Detroit Speed quadrillink suspension in the back, and I forget what they call their front kit, but it's basically their full front suspension, sway bar, dual adjustable struts, and they have, I forget what they call the thing that bolts here, but it's basically it makes it where you can adjust your camber and caster on the fly. So if you're gonna take this thing on the track, road course, autocross type thing, which we probably will once we get done, you can just pop the hood and adjust it right there without having to unbolt anything. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And then we're possibly gonna upgrade the headlights. I haven't really decided what to do there yet, but we'll see. If anybody's got any ideas on cool headlights that they've done or that they think might work, fit the third gen, comment below. We'd like to hear what you have to say. So these third gens had a giant back glass, which is really heavy. And as far as I know, nobody makes a new replacement glass for these cars. So if yours gets messed up, good luck finding a good one. They're either gonna be rotted out, scratched up, or it's gonna have the undesirable defrost in it, defrost vents. So I'm pretty sure this was a Texas car its whole life, and the way you can tell whether it was a Southern car, or usually a pretty good indicator if it was a Southern car, is it won't have the rear defrost lines in it. If it's a Northern car where it's cold all the time, it's gonna have the rear defrost lines in it. This one does not. But what this one does have is some scars from somebody scratching it. You can see right around here, there's some DA scratches where somebody got a sander in there, because this car has been painted once. And so, you know, the paint job is okay. We're not gonna try and paint it right now because it's good enough for that. But they wrecked the glass in doing so. So what do? You get on Facebook Marketplace again, and you start looking for a better glass. So that's what we did. We got another one that we found. The glass is in really good shape. We've already restored the trim back to nice satin black. And now all we gotta do is take this blue painted part off with the blue spoiler and put it on the new glass. All right, check out the inside of this trunk. I guess you call this a trunk. So we got plastic panels in here. They're kind of hideous looking, whatever. It is what it is. The good news is they're not all scratched up. Usually these are all beat up or they're real chalky from being in the sun. This car has been stored. That's an indicator to me that this car has been stored inside most of its life. Otherwise, these panels would be destroyed and you'd have to find some better ones. The carpet is good back here. It's even got the original spare tire and it has the original spare tire inflator canister. I have no idea how this works. I've never had to use one in my life. Honestly, it looks kind of sketchy. I'd probably blow something up trying to use it, but from what I understand, you screw this on the tire and somehow it inflates your tire. And I think the reason they did that is there's just not room for a full-size tire on these cars. It came with the original jack, front license plate thing, and I mean, overall the car's really solid. I'm sure the gas struts have been replaced at some point because they always go out. It's still got the good solid plastic here. It's got one little chip in it. The rubbers are pretty good on here. I don't know if they've been replaced, but they feel like they're in pretty good shape. The taillights are a little bit hazy. We may end up doing something different on the taillights, but not bad at all. Some of these cars had a automatic retract latch on the back. This one does not. This one you have to slam, but I believe that was an option where you could just latch it and it would suck it down. I don't know why they did that, but we're not gonna worry about it. All right, let's talk about some of the things out here. So there's a few things cosmetically on the outside that I think need to be improved that could really make this car look a lot better. One is the striping here. I don't know if I'll put that back on there, but we definitely can't leave that stuff that's falling off. If I can get that off of there without wrecking the paint and put some new ones on there, we might do that. You can get these new Z28 badges. I'll probably do a new one of those. Maybe get some better tail lights, you know, but this is plastic and it's not all cracked up and broken, so that's good. The spoiler, yeah, this is original spoiler. It's got some chips on it. I wouldn't mind doing a little bit bigger spoiler on here just to kind of make it look a little beefier. We're gonna upgrade the wheels and tires. These latches, or these door handles, are just a little clunky to me. I wish we could do something different there, so I don't know, we'll see. The roof has a couple of little dings on this car, which I can live with for now. The previous owner told me that they had some stuff sitting on the roof and dinged the roof. Wish they hadn't done that, but it is what it is. I think we can take the headliner out and maybe get a PDR guy to kind of make some of that better. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but really it's not a big concern of mine right now. I want to get some of this mechanical stuff done, get this car looking cool, get it where we can take it on the track and pound some gears. So a few things we could do up here to make it look better, I think, is, well, honestly, I'm not even a big fan of these lights, any of these lights. I feel like we could do something cooler here. Either replace these with new ones and leave it stockish, or if we do the full wide body thing, we're gonna modify this severely and do some really cool stuff. So we're planning on maybe doing a different lower valance that's a little bit beefier, catch some more air for downforce, maybe widen the opening here and eliminate this light altogether and bodywork it, and then hopefully we could do that with just painting the front fascia and not the rest of the car, for now at least. Get rid of these lights for sure. I'm okay with some sort of a badge here, but that one's just not doing it for me. Maybe like a Hammerfab logo or something right there. I don't know. I like the louvers in the hood, but we got to do something better with those. So we're gonna try and make those functional and definitely repaint them so that they look nice and sharp. I think it's gonna be cool. Always wanted me an IROC. Never had the cool cars growing up. We're gonna convert this bad boy into a street eating machine. We got some tricks up our sleeves. We got some parts back at the shop. Can't wait to get started on this one. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna make it a driver. Just wait and see.